ladies are cool.
Okay, welcome to this segment. It is still Good Morning, Anambra, and I'd like to thank you very much for standing by. We introduced our phone lines to you in the other segment, and we expected you to call. It didn't call that much, and now we expect you to join in what we are discussing by using the numbers on your screen, and then make your contribution. So you ask questions, okay? All right, it's good to have you here. Now, we are going to look, that's in this segment, we are going to look at promoting made in Nigeria products. Sure, you will say no again over IFA, but then we won't stop until we achieve what we are really gunning for. And don't forget that I'm still here with Ugonna Ebere.
And it's always good to be here with you, you know, right?
Yes, I know. Okay, so move on now. Before I introduce my guests, let's quickly tell you exactly what we have been going on here. We know that there have been efforts by previous governments dating back to several decades to promote local production by introducing restrictions on importation of certain goods to assist local producers of the same goods to take control of the market. But the bane of the policies have always been insincerity and then corruption. This morning, Barrister Charles Nworji, the director of National Orientation Agency, Anambra State, has joined us to look at this nagging topic, promoting made in Nigerian goods. Welcome to our program, Charles.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It's good to have you here. There's this joy radiating on your face this morning.
Thanks for that.
All right, we're talking about promoting.
Before then, you really look like us. So when I look at people like this, I'm usually very glad. Okay?
That's all right.
At least you should be in the forefront of promoting whatever we're talking about.
Of course, you advise by example, you lead by example.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, sir. Yeah, you were saying something.
All right, so talking about this topic, it's actually a topic a whole lot of people have been talking about. And maybe some people would really want to know more. Briefly, just tell us, what does it mean to, just explain what it means, what made in Nigerian good means, briefly.
Of course, made in Nigerian goods and services simply means things that are wholly and almost entirely made here. They are not imported, and the raw materials are gotten from our environment and so forth. They may come in form of goods, they may come in form of services too.
Okay.
I think that is that, yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at it generally now. Yes. Market survey shows that Nigerians have this big appetite for foreign products.
Sure.
Now, what is the way forward? How can we encourage made in Nigerian goods here in our country? Of course, making sure that we use more of what we produce and start producing.
Okay. I'm happy you realize that Nigerians have a high penchant for foreign goods. We can give anything to have those things from abroad, no matter how costly or
it is,
you know. The truth is that the government, like my sister here said earlier in her intro, it's been a long war, it's been a long campaign, but it doesn't seem to be yielding any fruit. But we are determined this time around to ensure that that's the NOA, in Anambra State, with the collaboration of the state government and the enterprise, the manufacturers themselves. They have to come in, because this campaign is going to be private sector driven, mostly, to ensure that our people patronize what we produce here, particularly in Anambra State.
Particularly in Anambra State.
Yes, particularly in Anambra State.
Whether we are running a different campaign from the national campaign.
No, it's the same. Anambra is part of the nation, but the emphasis will be on Anambra State. You have a long list of manufacturers, entrepreneurs producing things. Anambra is a hub. People come and carry and move and everything. And then we need to, patronize these products to encourage those producers, to encourage those manufacturers, I think that's
perhaps because we have so many of these manufacturers coming from this state,
lot.
so we need to be at the forefront of the campaign.
Of course.
All right, we're going to the street now to listen to some people that talk on the streets why they are not patronizing made in Nigeria goods.
Okay.
Let's watch that now.
I'm asking any mother that like one Nigerian product because I like it. I'm kind of rough. I catch China. No, in Nigeria, when you know, Loaka, you see, let's be on an Loaka. I can't want any day job any time to your medicine. My body will not feel material or man, no one will let's be or Luchaya. As soon as you are man, I
to me, I don't like Nigerian product because one, we don't do the things that benefit us. We consider maximum profits. So instead of a Nigerian want to produce something that would be meaningful or kind of superior, we just make it less so that the person will get more profits. So when you consider the foreign products and ours, you find out that their own is far better because they know that this human being that is actually using this thing. But Nigerian can risk their life. They consider more of what profits. So for that fact, I don't like Nigerian products.
Other than Nigeria, I don't want. I thought you share you can buy. I don't want. So no more than I like.
Can you make something that like here? That's a choice you can make.
I'm going. I like Maka. You can't want a Baba Takwana disappoint. No, you will let's be well lawyer. All last that, mother job. So, no more than I like that. The modern boy, yes, we were not alone. Or Nigeria,
why people patronize foreign products to Nigerian made products is quality. That is my suggestion. I think it's quality because the quality of a product will make someone want to buy and buy and buy it again. For instance, I have once purchased a product here in Nigeria and I didn't even use it up to a week and then it was bad. So I was very angry. So I prefer purchasing those ones outside, irrespective of the cost, that will probably last longer for me. And also I think it's accessibility because sometimes people tend to buy stuff online. But when you want to think of going to the market to purchase something and you just start thinking of the stress and all that. So you just get it online, which is a foreign product, and you just take it to your house and pay for it. So one, you're comfortable with what you're buying, the quality of the stuff will make you not buy the stuff, and also accessibility, easy access to get what you want. I think that's it. Thank you.
All the notes are done. And when they got the mayor from you can be proud like one or one can I'm like you jump I'm a buy out from
Okay, welcome back, and that's much we'll take from that Vox Pop to enable us to look at this this problem critically with the director of NOAA that is in the house with us.
Thank you.
Well, do you have anything to say? I mean,
yes, the clips I watched, not every statement there is true.
Okay.
Some of them fall out of stereotypes they've had that homemade goods are not durable. How durable are the ones from abroad? The ones, I don't want to call countries now, I'm telling you the truth. In Abia State, which can compare, is a fellow Igbo state, Abia State, the shoe industry in Abia State is a multi-billion naira business today. And everybody is fighting to invest in it. They make durable materials here. If we form the habit, if we decide to patronize our home grown industries and entrepreneurs, let me tell you, the sky is the limit. They may have 1 or 2 points in what they said about durability, but what they said is not totally
It's not totally
situation
true.
is, yes.
But for my intro, we talked about corruption and insincerity on the side of the policy makers.
Yeah.
Okay, because you cannot tell us to be patronizing made in Nigeria goods when you are enjoying the best of qualities all over the world. And then we don't see you doing what you preach, okay, as a policy maker. Okay, look at the very beautiful shoe. Very beautiful shoes coming from Abba. Look at that on the screen.
Yes.
Okay, why wouldn't they write this one made in Abba? Okay, because I'm sure that some of them have very good qualities. So they'll be able to promote. But back to my question. So why is it that the policymakers are not living by examples? They ride on the best of the cars. When we have some companies manufacturing cars here, their fabrics is the best from the Arab wars. When we have companies, manufacturing companies that they have, that have gone out of production due to lack of patronage.
You see, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's part of that warped psychology, that belief that what we do here, that our products here are fake or substandard. But it is not the situation. You mentioned something about corruption. The officials say one thing and do another thing. But it's playing out. Countries like Indonesia and Malaysia and so on, that are in the forefront, the so-called Asian tigers, go and see some of the products made here compare favorably with what products come from there. And the officials here, like you said, let's not miss that point. Probably they've fixated on that mindset of it's not going to work. I can't be seen wearing local fabric. Am I not wearing local fabric now? Can anybody stop me on the street and ask me why I'm doing that?
Right, but that brings me to the next. First and foremost, we know that foreign good cannot be totally eradicated in Nigeria, of course, because Nigeria is more of an independent, a country that depends so much on, imported goods. Of course, we don't produce most of our product from cars, to mobile phones, clothes, and some food items. Now, looking at it, a whole lot of stories have been said that we will produce our local cars. But then again, how many local cars are on the road?
You were saying,
yes,
you were asking to know how many
of the local
made in Nigeria,
cars, yes,
made in Nigeria cars are on the road. The truth is that Rome was not built in a day. I must tell you this. The people say that great oaks from little acorns grow. I came to this interview today in an innocent vehicle, which we have used for about 5 years, and it's still on the road.
Very solid.
Yes, I know that not all the components are totally homemade. Okay. Could get some outside components, but the truth is that yes,
it's beautiful
material. You understand? Many government functionaries.
The companies that we had here before now, that's the Tesla company, used to manufacture all these things.
All these things here.
Okay, but they've gone to Ghana. They've gone to different parts of even West African countries.
Where the investment environment is friendlier.
So can we talk about that?
Yes.
So why is our own environment not friendly?
You mentioned something about corruption.
Oh, really?
Yes. Who lets these things in through the borders?
Okay.
Somebody does. The effect it will have on the manufacturer locally is that his enterprise is stifled.
Okay.
And he goes to a place that is friendlier.
Okay.
Oh, you move as an entrepreneur or a businessman or a manufacturer, you go where you get your input at the lowest cost. Okay. Your production, production-wise. You don't go where you spend all you have in producing something. How much
would you gain? You talked about coming in an innocent vehicle.
Yes.
Now, what is the bane? What is the problem? Because it is really bothering that when you go to the roads, you see the cars on the roads, they're mostly from other countries. Is it because we just don't like, what we produce here, or we don't like supporting ourselves?
We do. It was not like this 20 years ago.
Because if you can use a car for 5 years and it's sound, then why can't everybody patronize what's good?
But it's catching on gradually. That's why that's what is firing our interest in this campaign of promoting made in Nigerian goods and services. A lot of government offices are buying it. A lot of individuals are buying those cars. locally manufactured cars. And with time, you don't expect it to happen overnight. Yes, with time. And with this campaign that we are planning, we'll talk about that later, you will see that there will be a shift.
There will be a shift, and I want that shift to be a permanent shift, because I know that in their quest for globalization and the expansion, Chinese have maintained their culture and identity. Okay, by sticking to their way of life, their local way of life, their food, their tea, everything, the thing they wear, and but our own, just in our quest of own civilization, we have lost everything. We have lost our identity. The language, the clothes we wear, everything about us.
Yes.
What do we do?
There was a piece I read the other day. Somebody was trying to make a comparison between Nigeria and India. These two countries were governed by, were colonized by Britain.
By Britain, yes.
When the British left India, the Indians, or when the British still colonized India, Indians learned new technology and everything and still retained their culture. But in the case of Nigeria, most of what we retained was to anglicize our speech, to speak English more fluent than the Englishman, and everything. The technological aspect of that colonization, we did not imbibe anything. I'm not laughing at us, because we will rise from these ashes. If it was a mistake, it's been made. But we must correct them. That is what orientation is all about. That is true.
So are there measures that should be met
before you go on, Ebele, look at Ben Bruce there.
Yes.
The common sense guy.
Yes.
Patronizing Nigeria made of good. Made in Nigeria.
And there was a time he actually got
even as a senator.
Few of innocent vehicles. Yes, he got them.
For whatever he
what
may
does that left out with? Because I know that
he may have some other vehicles and everything, but what he did was just symbolic. Trying to encourage us to look inwards. When we do this, we save a lot of foreign exchange. We encourage our entrepreneurs. They get bigger, more people are employed, and because what we have today is an economy without employment potentials.
Okay, and I know that there's no way you can stop consuming champagne in this country, because I heard that Nigeria is the highest consumer of champagne, even when they don't produce.
I do know.
Okay, I'm coming very closely to France that produces champagne.
Yes.
But I know that some of our boys that produce this local gin, and they hunt them down, saying, no, you cannot, it's illegal. Instead of encouraging them to see if there's any way that this production, they will refine this local gin, and then that's what they want to be asking for. Okay, and thereby encouraging employment. What do we do? How do we look inward to promote our own local goods?
I do not have statistics to back up the champagne story. But the truth is, even we must not misconstrue government action in trying to check counterfeiters. We must not misconstrue it for a clamp down on local producers.
Okay, so you're saying something?
I said we must not misconstrue that, because the authorities can go all out to rout counterfeiters who use very poisonous materials to make. I mean, that's not. I'm not going to quarrel with that. What I may quarrel with is, or what we should be concerned about, is when people who are using wholly local raw materials to produce something that is safe for consumption, and then somebody tries to stop them. That's what should give us worry. But when somebody in the inner recesses of his room and everything brings all sorts of concoctions and calls it local gin and everything, maybe 100% ethanol, industrial alcohol, and bottles it for consumption, That person should be, if it's a jail time, that person should be jailed.
Now, look at this picture.
Yes.
I actually think it's also part of promoting Made Nigerian. I think we're really talented. We are so good because when we want to learn, we learn so well, and we turn out so well. But what is the problem?
This thing was constructed with can.
Because this is very beautiful. If I can put this in my house,
bottle water
yes,
can.
look at it.
That's exactly what they use.
This has been creative.
Yes.
Very, very creative.
You can see the bottle.
Yes, at the back, at the side, underneath.
This is great. And now you said there's a program coming up. You have
yes. The national orientation. We wanted to kick it off in the first half of the year, but the logistics were not totally in place.
Okay.
And then making the necessary contacts with the manufacturers and the investors and so on. Hasn't been that smooth.
When is it coming up now?
Definitely it will kick off before the end of the year, and it's going to be a total package, not a one-off thing.
Okay.
That's why some of the campaigns of old failed. Okay. When people think you can scratch it on the surface, and when everybody falls back to position. Continuous. So once we do the state flag off, we do at the senatorial zones, then our COMOs, that's community orientation and mobilization.
All right, since it's coming up towards the end of the year, I think we'll
before the end of the year. In fact, around September, we want to kick it off.
So we'll be having you, and then you
update us. Of course, I will update you people and let you know what the agency is doing. It is not only about telling people how to vote, how to do that. This is at the heart of orientation, what we are doing.
All right, sir. Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Barrister
you very much.
Charles Nworji, Director, National Orientation Agency, Anambra State. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Nice to be here.
All right. Do stand by for the next segment of this program, please.
Okay.